In strength pretty fast. F again? Well, no drop frames on my end. OBS is working. It's got to be Twitch. We're back? Okay. Well, OBS is fine and no drop frames and my internet's stable, so yeah, it has to be Twitch. They're probably doing work on something, or they're just twitching. Who knows? One of my favorite things about this game is how obvious it is that like a native English speaker did the localization for this game, and despite that, how terribly worded some things are. I love it. Like stun is called palsy. Why? Why is it called palsy? How is palsy even close to paralysis, aside from the fact that it starts with P? They both also have a Y and an L and an S and a Y somewhere in there. You know, it is funny, Bad Chad, that the only time I've been having stream connection issues is when I play SaGa Frontier. So, I mean... Wow, I just went live? All right. Maybe I should upload this one directly from OBS to YouTube instead. Because I do local recordings for all my streams now. After the big DMCA thing, I do local record on every stream and I put it on an external drive. But if it's broken up VODs, then ugh, it's the worst. Two. I will say that grinding in red scenario did actually help me, but I could have also just gotten really lucky with my placement in the grand scheme of things, so I don't really know where I stand. You get this mixed bag of what I'm fighting as well, you know? I'm fighting a slime, but I'm also fighting this T-Walker thing. And it's like, I don't know what that means. Getting a lot of stat ups. Seems fine. Seems good-ish. I'd like more HP though. HP doesn't seem to be going up very much at all. Kind of just stopped at about 450. Oh! I see why that thing is called a Ghost Rider now. There's an actual ghost riding like a one-eyed slugfish thing. I still don't understand why it's got a billion trumpets on it though, but hey, you know, whatever. I see that it's like a little ghosty riding a one-eyed fish, and that's why it's called a Ghost Rider. Yes. The more you fight, the more stats you gain. There's not an XP or a level up or anything. You just kind of get stats as you go. But there's a scaling factor in this game, so the more things you do, the more stronger the enemies get as well. And I have no idea how that works. All I know is that they get stronger, and it could be a make or a break kind of thing. So this grinding that I'm doing could actually be the worst possible thing I could possibly do to advance the game, or it could just land on the right numbers. I don't know. Could be irrelevant. Maybe I don't even need to grind at all. Maybe I could just go in and beat that boss easily right now if I wanted to. I don't know. Game sure as hell isn't going to help you along. Swallow's swing is really good. Ability. Yeah, get rid of you. Oh, let's get rid of you. Oh. Wow. I don't know if I have a place for it, but it is good-ish. This protects him against blind, which she did do flash. Might need to actually get better helmets. I don't know if she did any air attacks, so I might not need jet boots. Oh, I see. There's SH armlet and then SH anklet. Interesting. I mean, the jet boots give me quickness too, which is pretty damn good, so. I don't think it's worth 2 defense. Yeah, baby, there we go. There's the deflect coming in. Like, literally everyone needs that deflect. It's so good. I didn't tank again, did I? Twitch isn't screwing up still? We're still okay? I would feel bad if I was acting like I was live and Twitch is dead. All live. Okay, good. There was just some silence for a while and it got me worried. Blade, blazer, laser. Yeah, my bad, Well, sorry. 41, 42, 48, 27, 25, 25 strength, 23, 46, 50, 43. You can tell they've been using the strength stuff the whole time. I still feel like if I go in to fight the boss, I'm just gonna like die because like my HP really, like my strength and vitality, they've gone up, but my HP has not gone up. And without being able to live through those shots, I'm just not gonna get anywhere, I don't think. Ice Lion, what's up, dude? Thank you for the raid. How you doing? What's up? How's it going? Everybody say hello to Ice Lion, the nicest guy on Twitch. Ice is nice. Also follow him, because he's great. Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great as I can. Anyway, I don't know if you've played this game, but holy shit. Ice Lion also does a lot of the same things I do. He does retro, he does RPGs, and he also is very keen on the whole original hardware thing as I am over here. So yeah, we both kind of have the same sort of approach to our games and our streaming. This game, though, is SaGa Frontier we're playing right here, and it is not a nice game. It is cruel and painful and suffering. But hey. Yep, that's exactly how I feel, Ice. That's exactly how I feel. You pretty much nailed it. There's so much cool about this game, and then so much like, what the absolute freaking hell were they actually thinking, these crazy, crazy, crazy people? Yeah, that about sums it up. Well, as long as you're all having fun and enjoying the suffering, then that's all right. I don't know if you were having Twitch issues, Ice, but we've had like dropouts from Twitch like twice today. We just actually got back from one. So I'm wondering if that was kind of why you're ending. Just because of that. Yep, that's where we're at. Where we're at, yeah. Right now I'm grinding because I got to what feels like the final boss of the scenario, and it just got like 4 attacks in a turn, all one-shotting my team. So it's just like, all right, well, clearly I need to get stronger. But the thing is that this game has scaling in it, so I don't know if it's just gonna make it harder for me or what. I don't know. Totally my fault. All my fault. Gomeno, sorry. I want to build Amelia and Rogue as casters, and I want to encourage that on their fighting, but it feels like spells are really underwhelming, and that as long as you have some JP, it doesn't really matter. Because the healing that they do doesn't seem to go up any, and the damage that they do doesn't seem to go up any at all. So I'm really confused about casting, other than the fact that it can like res dead people, and that's about it. There are some really OP spells for sure, but after that it's like, I don't know. I could also try these side party members that I've found to see if they actually really benefit me. I do have that Kirin, which could really change things up for me as well. Although, so we can think about it now, I kind of want to test it. Kind of want to test Kirin on my save file that I have at the boss. Maybe. It's a lot of... That's a... only 41 vitality, that's a problem. Would I really get anywhere with that? They could equip all the accessories that are really strong. Huh. Yeah, I don't know now, actually. It does make me want to try it, though. Well, now that I think about it, I'd probably get in there and then Kieran might live, but then everybody else just gets murdered and then GG. Why do I only have 3,000 monies? Oh, you know, maybe I forgot to get my reward. Now I have 5,000 monies. That means I really have not been getting that much money per battle. That seems wrong, because I was like 300 shy of it last time, and I've been grinding for like half an hour, and I got all 500. I just got 100 credits from that last battle. I've been getting 50-ish from each one. That seems wrong. Well, she's got some defense now. Do I dare try to go with this? I don't think anything's gonna change, you know? Like, it just feels like all my stats are relatively about the same where they were. Oh, screw it. Let's at least give it a shot. Maybe it will make the difference. Although I do think that I should basically take her off of. Spellcasting. Regeneration is irrelevant when everybody just dies in one hit. Same with that, they just die, so who cares? That one doesn't hit her, so who cares? She also has Deflect, which is pretty damn good. I won't have mastery, but I don't care. Yeah, it just seems like that doesn't add up. When I was getting 50 to 100 every battle, and I fought like 30, 40 battles, and I have 500 more money, that doesn't make any sense, you know? You can't really sell equipment in this game. You can only sell certain kinds of equipment to certain people. So those steel amulets that I was getting, oh look, it's the same battle except for tons more enemies instead. That's cool. I always love it when it's completely and ridiculously random and imbalanced. Oh my god, I deflected the one shot. And then I get deflected. Oh yeah, go on, Rageous in. Potentially cool things happened. Oh, I figured he would get it. Yeah, that's not surprising. Glad he finally did end up getting it, though. Well, that seems good. Yeah, 10, wow. Never seen one take that much before. I mean, it did do 2k damage just by itself. And I'm assuming it pairs really well with combos and stuff. Like, it's gotta be good, right? True, it is a SaGa game. Very true. Who knows? Yeah, I haven't gotten a level 5 combo yet. I've gotten a few 4s, but never a 5. Can you imagine if the party members that you had on sit out would like come in as soon as you lost out LP or something like that? Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Then the side party members that you actually had might actually make a difference. This makes absolutely no sense, so if you're confused, don't worry. It's intended. You're just like, hey, I'm in a chapel, I'm gonna put on my wedding dress, and then suddenly this thing comes down and it's like this ultimate music, like it's a final boss. And it's like, oh okay, alright. Dodge gaze is like bonkers good here. No combos, huh? That's sad. Still really good damage, but no combos is a feels bad moment. Man, gaze dodge is like the best thing you could possibly learn here. Although with how expensive Sky Twister is, if it doesn't combo, man, I'm just gonna run out of stuff. Babel Crumble might be better. I'm hoping to go first, that's why I'm doing Heaven Hell, and see if I can actually stun. Ow. Do I think this is the final boss? Could be, but other scenarios have debated the absolute hell out of me on final boss many, many times, so I don't know. It feels like it is randomly, awkwardly, but who can tell? That was cool. That was a cool combo. They worked really well together aesthetically, like visually. It's just all lucky though. Yeah, that's what you get. Can you not? Crying out loud, man. So many attacks I have to sit there and cross my fingers that I block each one. Or don't die. Tornado, was it? I will show you how. Bleh, dead. This is only my second attempt on this boss. Oh my god. Well, so much for this attempt. Just when I thought I was recovered from all the AoE, it's time to recover from all the AoE. Should do about 4,000 5,000. Nice. Cool. Remember all that AoE I couldn't recover from? Hey, how about some more of it? Yeah? No, it multiplies the damage to get a combo, though, which is really important. Really need you to block, like, everything. Well, there goes everything. That's GG. She got all these attacks off before I could get a single one. Just... I don't know why they gave her so many attacks. All very, very deadly attacks. Like, I don't get that. She has way too much damage. You just can't keep up. She got 4 attacks before I got 1, and she just focused it on dead Manelli, and then there goes the rest of my life points. What? I don't just... This game is so fucking dumb. Like, it would be a struggle to keep up if she had 1 or 2 attacks, but she gets like 4, and they're all like they're just murdering. There's just constant murdering. You just can't keep up. Even with 2 to 3 people healing, you just don't have enough. Wait, Vortex hits everybody? Well, that's cool. Blap dead. Oh, I killed somebody? Here, have some more death. Oh, you didn't die from that? Here, let me help you out with that. Not bad damage. Finally a block. By the way, the only reason Amelia isn't taking that much damage is because I spent that 5,000 credits on that power suit. I guess grinding 5,000 credits for 5 people, you know, might be a viable strategy, I suppose, if that didn't take like 10 hours to do. But that's assuming that all that grinding doesn't just inflate the stats of the boss again, you know? Yeah, but remember, enemy scale in this game. So who knows where I'd actually be at that point. Yeah, I just go in with weapons and then nakedness. If that were the case. Oh shit. Nice. That's what I need to learn. KO throw and Kasumi. Those are the things I need, man. KO throw, Kasumi, and deflect would just be total game changers. I don't think she can KO throw anymore though, unless it's free. KO throw would leave you breathless. Yep. That would leave you breathless, specifically. I'm just gonna air throw now in case KO throw takes stuff. Getting really lucky on these. Rosario Impale. Oh, that was cool. Really lucky on these gazes. That's like remarkably lucky. Maybe it'll be what allows us to complete this, huh? There we go. Let's try to do some. Oh, never mind. It doesn't have Sword Girl. Probably like 5K, 4K, 4.7. Yeah. Man, I was just feeling comfortable too. Yeah, that's fine. Better than somebody else dying. Turbid Current. Pretty good too. About as good as Headwind though. Well, she might be permadead now after all of that. Yeah, she's permadead. Just because she gets... The freaking boss gets so... Wait, she's not? Oh. She gets so many attacks. And like... If somebody dies and it just focus fires on the one person, they can just lose all their LP in like a flash. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey Sire, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Here we go. This could be good damage. I'm guessing like 6K. Wow, that was graphical. Okay, that only did like 500 to 600 extra damage. And that's just the one shot that nobody's gonna live through, even with 70 defense. Points to the void. See you later. Don't, okay. No, don't! Kieran has been pretty good addition. He just kind of keeps himself alive, which has been nice. And there's probably the game. Hey, what's up, Rito? How you doing? Gonna need you to block things, please. I'd be really great if this boss dies. I'd be fantastic. I'd be over the moon. If this boss were to just like die on the next hit that I give it, that would just be great. If I get one. I don't know if I will now. No such luck, it seems. That's not good. That's fine. Also not good. Well, big ol' whelp. Oh, this might be good. I mean, yeah, there was the benefit of it carrying the charm, you know? So I didn't get hit by her as well for who knows how much damage. Like, yeah, I get it, but still, it's just... I can't believe I'm still in this fight, honestly. I'm blown away by the fact that I'm still in this fight. I don't know how, to be perfectly honest, considering how much damage is being done. Luck, I guess, is the only thing I can think of. Oh, never mind. That's probably everybody dead. Oh, she dodged. Jesus. I didn't even have time to recover from the AoE, dude. Oh, Shane, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, I have very little damage output now. If the boss isn't very close to being dead, then I am very closer. Much closer to being dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, Rufus is dead forever. That's not good because he's got my backpack. That is really bad. This thing has to be close. Like right now close. Okay, leave her alone. Well, actually, just leave everybody alone. Let's get some deflects and shield blocks and stuff going on. And how about you just go ahead and die right here? That would be super. Nope. Oh, hey, look. The counter tornado thing. That's great. Lock. Okay. Just boom, 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 boom. No chance of survival. Yeah, it's pretty much it, Shane. You don't get a chance to ever catch your breath. It's just such aggressive amounts of damage that you can't do anything about. Even when I had 2 healers. How many times can she be hit? One more time and that's it. That's game over. So this pretty much has to do it. Nope. I don't understand why this game does this stuff. I've had more game overs in this game than I've had in any other game in the history of time, I think. We're definitely in the triple digits of game overs. It's just it's just absurd. It's obscene. It's outrageous. Back to grinding, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what this game wants from me, man. Holy moly. Like, the boss has like 4 attacks, each of which can just one-shot somebody or do enough AoE to pretty much prevent me from being able to recover. The amount of healing output that you get in this game is abysmally low. You have like a single target 200 heal, or you can use some items that are exceedingly expensive that only one person gets access to. It's just really mean and limiting for all of its like design options. It's limiting, and I don't know. It's not stunnable. It's a boss. Probably the last boss of the scenario too. Challenging? Dude, not being able to do anything about it isn't challenging, man. That's not what challenge is. Challenge isn't artificial difficulty through, like, impossible standards unless you get lucky. That's not difficulty. That's just hoping you get lucky, you know? Difficulty is enhanced by giving the player difficult execution. Random enemy. Wow. Just random encounter. You know, it's one thing if it's like, oh, you get a random encounter and it's really scary or whatever. Like, oh man, that random encounter, it's really scary. And then it's like, when there's so many of them, then you start to be like, wait a second. Why is it that every other encounter is scary? Wonder Bangle. Oh, that just like, that prevents gun damage, I think. Hard to imagine another way of creating it difficult within the mechanics of the game. Change the mechanics then? That's... I think you're missing the point. Oh, it's a shield, right? Yeah. Not that bullets are really used here, but yeah. There are plenty of RPGs that are difficult because they put pressure on the player, but it's recoverable pressure. The thing about the pressure on this game is it's A, unrecoverable without luck, and B, you never know where you are on the scale of pressure. Because of the enemy scaling with you, you never know if it's going to be like easy pressure or like impossible pressure. How many times have I like got into a battle and just died? Dozens of times. Battle starts, boom, game over. What? You know, that's not difficulty. And you know, it'd be one thing if I were under leveled, like, okay, you know, I'm playing Breath of Fire and I'm level 20 and an area the game expects you to be level 30 or 40 in, and it's like, whoa, I'm getting my butt kicked. I shouldn't have avoided all those encounters. But this game doesn't care about that as much. I'm only grinding right now because I have no other idea what I could possibly do. I've been all over the world, done a bunch of side quests. I got space and time magic and everything, and these powers seem irrelevant to just like, I just need more stats, you know? I never played SMT3. I never played any SMT game. Yeah, and it should be intuitive at the very least, Shane. You know, it should be like, here's a set of tools that I've given you. You need to use those tools to overcome this obstacle. And it shouldn't be like, there's these tools, but you may need to do the most amazingly obtuse side quest in order to unlock this tool, and it may or may not actually be helpful, but hey, it's there, so stop complaining, nerd, LOL, kind of thing, you know? It needs to be intuitive. And there's nothing intuitive about this game aside from just the basics of the menu and the abilities that you have to use. But like, if there's an AoE, like for instance, if there's an AoE heal, if there's a group heal in this game, hell if I know where it is, because holy shit, magic is basically go to the shop and buy some magic, but it's like extremely limited. There's like 4 spells per class, and the only healing spell I've ever found was the Sunlight Ray, which does 200. If there's an AoE heal, where the hell is it? Boy, howdy, would an AoE heal just completely change the game completely for me. But then again, it wouldn't change too much if I just have the chance of being one-shot regularly by the boss's attacks that they randomly select from. So yeah, I have a healer with an AoE heal finally, but if I need to cast that heal and they just die because the boss just like has 18 attacks around and they all one-shot, like there's no defenses that I can do to help me, there's no execution that I can use to avoid it, and there's no intuitive design to show me the path. It's just scattered. The funny thing is I wanted to build caster for like, you know, healing effectiveness and stuff, and it doesn't seem to scale. So I'm literally attacking with casters using swords because it's the only way to build vitality, which is like a major defense stat. That's the only thing I can think of, is just building up my vitality to try and not die to these attacks. And you know me, if you've been in this channel any more than, you know, a few days, you know I hate grinding in order to overcome bosses. I mean, how many hundreds of dozens of RPGs have we played where I refused to grind and we made it through just fine because the bosses were at least scaled to the difficulty of you being in that position. But this is just haphazard. It's all hodgepodge and thrown together. The game just kind of says, Even games like Ephemeral Fantasia were at least balanced difficulty. feel like I might be able to defeat the boss as it is if I got lucky enough with the random selection of abilities. You know, that's a good point, Crime Fridge. Let's say you're correct on that. I don't remember. I've tried to lock as much of that game away from my memory as possible. But let's say you're right. The first battle in Ephemeral Fantasia is known to kill you right out. That's cool. That's the first battle. How many battles in this game have just killed me right out as soon as I start them? We're not even talking about just starter battles. Mid-tier, end battles, all over the place. Everywhere. Just everywhere. Everywhere. So I mean, if we're gonna compare it to Ephemeral Fantasia, and you're gonna use that as your big gotcha, I'm afraid I have news for you. Wow, that's a hell of a bolt barrier damage. Okay. That's a great example, by the way, that bolt barrier. Fantastic example of how the scaling in this game is utter bullshit. So you're thinking, oh, okay, well, like, you know, bolt barrier did 350 damage to my characters that have 500 health. That's nearly death just from a damage shield, okay? But how much damage did the bolt shield on the boss do to the boss? The one that they applied. The same damage. The same damage. For a boss with like 50,000 HP, it still just did 350. There's no semblance of enemy versus player at all. They didn't bother determining damage values versus players. It's just all this same like level of scaling. Yeah, they just have this many stats, and who cares if it one-shots your entire team? There's no balance at all between player and enemy. When bosses have tens of thousand HP and you have hundreds of HP, the damage should be significantly changed between player and enemy, and it's really not. And that bolt shield kind of proves it. Right, yeah, we weren't doing this, were we? And the biggest problem, like, you know, is like when you go into a fight and you're making progress, you're killing the boss, and just the amount of like overwhelming pressure the boss puts on you, you feel helpless. You don't feel like, oh, I got this. You feel like you don't got it. You feel like you can't do anything about it. I feel completely and utterly at a loss and helpless. And I've been playing freaking RPGs and video games since I was 2 years old, you know? By the way, I'm 38. I think this is the most helpless I've ever felt. And that's not like a good thing, not like a, oh man, this boss is rough. I need to figure out how to do the thing and do the stuff. It feels like it doesn't matter what my choices are, you know? you can try to cast all the heals you want. He's just going to choose to murder whatever he wants, you know, and you don't get a choice on whether or not you can strategize your way outside of a fight. Like, for instance, let's use Final Fantasy, for example. Okay, Final Fantasy. Obviously, these are great games and great design and completely intuitive, right? Well, there's the reason is because you can strategize your way out of a fight. If you get into a fight and it's like, man, this is rough, you can change your equipment around. Oh no, he absorbed my fire, so let's not use magic. Let's do this. Let's put this on. Let's use this shield to absorb this element. Let's do this stuff. You can change things. You can adapt to your encounter. You can back row, front row, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, exactly what Shane said. It feels like you have tools that you can change things around. In this, it feels like you're pretty hard locked into where you're at and what you can do. And grinding doesn't change anything because you could be putting yourself in more danger by grinding than not. Well, I said RPG and games. So not just RPGs, but RPGs and games. Although my first RPG was Final Fantasy I on the NES. Why is that bolt shield all of a sudden causing 54 damage? Oh, there we go. Now, the boss was doing some electric attacks, so Bolt Crystal might be helpful, but most of it was just melee, you know? It was almost all melee, in fact. And it makes me wonder... like, if I just had more deflects, some Kasumi, KO throw, stuff like that, if I could just totally trivialize the damage. See... That's an interesting thing. I'm sitting here going, I know that there are tools that I can use to win, but guess how I get those tools? Guess how I learn Kasumi or Deflect or KO Throw? All RNG. It just happens in battle randomly. Did you see how, like, he learned Thrust, the little light bulb, and then he learned an ability? That was RNG. Oh, she already has KO Throw. Okay, well, that's fine. And it costs 1. And it's only countering punches, not anything else. So it has to be a physical punch move. So, she has Deflect. What this is every time there's an attack, a physical attack, you have a chance of protecting yourself or an ally from that attack. And I have 3 sword users. Oh, you need to get rid of this. And she has Deflect, but he does not. He doesn't have it either, and he's using a sword. So, there's another ability called Kasumi, where it also has a chance of countering an attack, except it doesn't protect an ally, it only dodges an attack and then counterattacks with Kasumi attack. Which takes 4, unfortunately, which is really expensive. And you learn that, of course, randomly by being attacked. Every time you're attacked, I guess you have a chance of learning it or something, I don't know. So I can't exactly like work towards grinding an ability like, okay, which passive do you want to learn? Like, let's think Final Fantasy IX, where you can equip a piece of gear, and I don't even think Final Fantasy IX skill learning system is a good system. I think it's silly because it forces you to use shitty gear in order to learn abilities that might be key to your growth. But even so, you can at least give yourself direction. You can give yourself a goal to go towards. Whereas this is like, gosh, I really need this ability that I know I have access to, but I just have to hope that I learn it in order to overcome this challenge. No, I don't think that's the case. It wouldn't matter anyway. Not like anybody else has any skills I could transfer. You know? So yeah, I don't think that's the case with this game. So yeah, there's no like path you can take. There's no skill system or tree or anything that gives you a goal to reach that can overcome your goal or your conflict or whatever. It's just shrug. Okay. Why was I doing like 2,000 damage before? Well, this isn't good. That's a lot of stats. I don't know. That's the problem, Hatsface, is I don't know. I don't even know if the place that I'm grinding at is any good for me. I mean, yeah, I'm getting stats, but am I gonna learn the abilities that I want? Am I gonna... I don't know. That's the thing. You don't know anything. There's nothing that's explained to you. And what you learn intuitively is that you have a menu with abilities that you sometimes learn that have a cost. That's pretty much the only intuitive aspect of this game, is that there are abilities and you learn them randomly. Ow. It's also possible that the requirement for learning these abilities isn't just RNG, but also stats. You know, like, oh, you need to have X amount of strength before you even have a chance of learning this ability. It also could be that it's a hidden bar. Like there's a hidden progress bar that you don't see, and when you reach it, then you learn the ability once you give it the opportunity to proc it. Once again, you'll never know unless you read a guide. Somebody that's studied SaGa Frontier for decades. Funny thing, somebody came in earlier last week and said that there are people that have been studying this game for since it came out and still haven't figured out all the things about how the game works. Take that into consideration. The game is so obtuse that people that have been studying it and playing it for 25 years still don't know a large amount of how the game works. Eagle Falcon. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the raid and the 40-month resub. And Amoeba with the 47 months. Thank you very much. And now, I know I've been pooping on the game for the last hour, Remember, I think every other aspect about this game is beautiful and fantastic and wonderful. This is a really impressive PlayStation game. It's just got shitty design and shitty balance. But it's so aggressively shitty that it makes it really hard to enjoy the good parts of the game, you know? I would rather just walk back and forth up and down this hallway, grinding up stats and watching my characters get stronger than advance through the stories, because the stories are scary. The stories make me think that I'm just gonna feel frustrated again, that I can't do anything about it. And that's pretty much how I feel, Shane. I wanna be able to make, like you say, informed decisions. I want to be able to take my toolkit and go, okay, I struggled here. What can I do to overcome this? Let's change things around. And the toolkit is basically like, these things are required and you have no versatility and the rest of it is RNG. Oh, I've read the manual already. I have the manual. I've been reading it. The manual pretty much just says, hey, there's a fight command. Press this button. That's it. It's very vague. Well, this is interesting. If you encounter a monster wandering in the field, a battle will begin. If you run into the monster while dashing, the battle formation will be mixed up and a battle will ensue. Interesting. Upon confirmation of the opponent monster, you can select the battle team formed in advance. After each battle round, character status is displayed. The remaining HP, LP, WP, JP, and abnormal status caused by the enemy attack were shown. Abnormal statuses, and then just spells. Hey, but I can get the official SaGa Frontier strategy guide by Brady Games. Walkthroughs of all 7 characters, secrets straight from Square's own Q&A department, detailed maps of every area, complete bestiary weapons, armor, items, spells, and ability lists, plus the special hidden ending. Well, thanks for spoiling that. I mean, I already predicted that getting all the scenarios done has a special effect of some kind. So Eagle, how was your stream, buddy? How you doing, man? Just 70 blank pages. Oh, you know, I didn't see if there was a 1-900 line. Let's see. No, but there is an ad for good video games in the back of the manual. Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Tactics, Bushido Blade, and Einhander. I don't know about Einhander, but the other 3 are great. Oh, Yakuza 0, nice. Yakuza, in my opinion, is the most underrated game franchise of all time. I feel like using higher tier abilities yields better stat gain. I feel like I was kind of stagnating on stat gains, and then I started using my higher tier abilities, and all of a sudden I'm just getting tons and tons of stats again. Maybe that's a way to overcome the scaling. You know, if you use all of your abilities and burn your WP out, it's a risk, but you're rewarded with more stats. I would be okay with that kind of risk-reward system, you know? Hey, you might run out of WP before you get to the boss, but you're going to get more stats before you get there, you know? Which would counteract the harsh scaling. Of course, that's assuming that, you know, you can even figure out that the game scales to begin with, so, you know. I will say, though, after dozens of battles, oh, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say, after dozens of battles, I have yet to see a real change in the monster difficulty, and then Flammy came to pay a visit, so maybe not. Cool. I was kind of thinking that I was going to start building a theory. I was going to start building a theory that the type of encounters that you get also matters. Like, it's not just after X amount of encounters or X amount of stats, then the tier increases. I was thinking, oh, it has to be like harder battles, maybe? And these are all kind of lower tier easy. And then now that that has happened, I am starting to think that maybe I was wrong about that. Well, let's see what the next battles are like. If we still have Mana Beast and Fire Dragons and whatever. I mean, these air folk can pretty much just one-shot me with Gale Slash, so there's that. Yeah, well, she also has what I think might be the strongest weapon in the entire game. So there's also that. That's another thing that bugs me, is I spent 3 LP to get what feels like the strongest weapon in the entire game, and it's like, yeah, it's some damage, but LOL boss scaling, so GG, you know? That bugs me. It would be one thing if I struggled on the boss and beat it, but making it feel like it's impossible is a totally other different feeling, you know? It's like getting the crystal sword at the beginning of Final Fantasy IV, but then Mom Bomb still one-shots you, you know? I'm not using magic, so I'm not getting JP, I don't think. At least I haven't been noticing it anyway. Well, there's both. WP is weapon points, so for weapon skills, you want WP. And then JP is for magic. It looks like my JP is about the same as it was when I started, but my WP is much higher. I just want it to be over. Pretty close to about how I feel. You know how long I've played this so far? This is my 5th day on it. 8-hour streams. So 40 hours. And I've beaten 1 scenario out of 7. I've gotten to the end of another scenario twice, but essentially felt like it was impossible to win, so it was essentially a soft lock. And I'm now at the end of this scenario, I'm pretty sure anyway, and I feel like I can't beat it. So that's 3 entire scenarios that I've gone through where I felt like I couldn't do it. Also, when the one scenario that I did beat, I had to like make multiple safety saves and like try different things and reset it and reload an old save and get so far and then feel like I couldn't do it, reset, reload an old save. Like, what game makes you do that? It's like, you know, the lack of understanding that I have is not from a lack of trying. I have given my heart and soul to understanding as much of this game as I have, and it has given me nothing in return. I'm in an abusive relationship, y'all. You should make what that guy play Ephemeral Fantasia. Blind. We'll see how well he appreciates bad games at that point. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you'd like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy. I mean, if this is your jam and you just love this game, hey, more power to you. But fuck, the vast majority of people are just gonna be like frustrated by this, you know? Oh, why not both, Hatsface? Why not both? Why not both? You know what's funny, Patches, is that usually when I play a game, people are like, "I'm getting this." Like I've been playing Bravely Default 2 as my other game through the week, and so many people are like, "This looks cool. I'm getting it. I want to play this. I want to play this." I'm selling copies, dozens of them. Boom, 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 boom. And then with this game, there's been like at least half a dozen people that are like, I'm not getting the remaster. I was thinking about it, but maybe not. Oh, hey, Chubman, what's up? You definitely made it. All right, you know what I want to do? You know, hold on a second. If I'm just not gonna use him, why wouldn't I use, like, literally anybody else with stat. Well, he's got the HP and the stats already built up. Like his strength is actually very decent. His vitality is really high now. Might as well just use him as a melee. He's a sorcerer. Whatever. I'm just gonna do the same thing as I did with her, and just this is now my another sword user. Oh, well, you got until Thursday for me to be playing it again, so you got plenty of time to catch up. Nope, I did not finish it. I thought I was going to. But nope, we're not done. And we'll be back to it on Thursday. Gives everybody lots of time to catch up to me and bypass me and all that good stuff so you can still watch. Oh, okay. You know, Curtis, you're not the first person I've seen with a name that's supposed to be pronounced Courtesy Flush. That's actually the second person I've seen like that. What is this game available on? PlayStation 1. There is a remaster of it coming out on PS4, Switch, and PC, though, next month. Remember how I said I suggested, hey, if I want the power suit on everybody, I could just grind 5k gold for everyone? All that time, I went from 1 to 4,000. All right, so I got 3,000 coins. That's actually not horrible. It's not horrible, but it's certainly not fast, that's for sure. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are probably thinking, it can't possibly be as bad as I'm making it out to be, right? Oh, hey, Psycho Sheep. No, Switch, PS4, and Steam all are getting the HD remaster for this game. You never played this one, Chobin? So you played SaGa Frontier 2. That's why. That's why you voted this one in, because you want to see me play SaGa Frontier 2. So I'm probably going to die here. The last remnant pressure. I mean, if I'm perfectly honest, I am curious about the game. It's Square, like, right? You know? And it was just the Xbox version that was, like, really not well done, right? But the remaster is all nice and good. I don't know. The harsh BGG no guides rule does not apply to all. You could read up on basic info that would clear up all the blanks and allow you to get a full and rich experience. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that what Pressure said is probably better. It's that if you don't mind reading guides and FAQs, then this game would be fine. But if you like to play games blind, or you don't want to have to read a guide just to play and understand a game, then probably not. So yeah, to each their own, you know, different folks, different strokes, and all that good stuff. I'm always in agreement with that kind of mentality. It's something I've lived by for a while. Oh, nice. He learned something good. Good damage. So as long as the boss doesn't have 80,000 more HP, maybe I'd have a chance. I'm up over 600 HP as well now, too. But there were attacks that were doing 600 damage, so I think I might need to go to zero. Oh! Yeah, maybe I should spend that money on a sword instead, since we're going all this swordy-like. Although they rarely get chances to actually attack, so maybe not. And how many college courses do I need before I understand it? That's how I play all my games, Shifty. Always blind, no tips, no hints, no spoilers, no facts, no guides. None of that. I agree, Psycho Sheep. Now, here's the thing. I don't play all games like that. When it comes to games that are like MMOs, you don't necessarily read a guide on how to MMO, but what you do use is a max level guide. Like, okay, I'm new to this MMO, I just got max level, what are the skills, what rotation should I be using? And that's largely because MMOs are way more complex when it comes to min-maxing DPS and execution, that you need to learn your class in order to like perform in raids. And then after that, the skill that comes from an MMO is execution, not trying to learn all the math behind it, you know? So I'll watch boss videos or even go into boss fights myself and test them out on like beta servers or whatever, but like, this is a single-player offline video game, you know? It should be intuitive to the player right out of the box. It shouldn't need additional resources in order to understand. You're right, DNA. No, you're absolutely right. It is what it is, and we will get through it. Integrity intact. Damn it. Well, he's dead. You know, there is another sword I could get if I go fight that skeleton team 10 or whatever, skeleton team squad. I could go fight them and get like a really high attack power weapon from that. See, what I think of right now, Koface, though, is that the system that I need to learn is that I should fight and grind endlessly on humans and then, like, ignore battles on mechs and monsters for the most part. That's the only thing that I've learned from this game. So turn a 3-hour story into a 50-hour grind session 6 times over. When I go back to T260 scenario, my plan is to fight 0 battles until the end of the game. And then you got that second to last dungeon that has tons of treasures that boost my stats up. Get all the things. And then just, hopefully, the last boss is way underpowered compared to me. I think one of the other things about this game that would completely change how I play this and how successful I'd be is I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of like hidden secrets in this game. And each of them, the game kind of expects you to figure out and learn and acquire so that when you go to each scenario, you get these secrets again and again and again. Like hidden armors, hidden OP weapons, things like that. And then avoid every single encounter and just one-shot everything in the game, you know? I bet you could do that as well. I bet you could totally do that. But that being said, I've kind of been everywhere, right? Especially with Emilia's story, there's so many different little things that I did. These space magic, time magic, stuff, mermaid thing. None of the stuff I got really seemed all that valuable, and it was just kind of like, eh. But I wonder if I was able to avoid like every single encounter on Emilia's missions, gave her the Ashura blade, whatever it's called, and only use that on the bosses, how like easy the final boss would have been, you know? But then again, how weak would my party members be? But then again, I could have used Kirin. I could have used the other one, the space-time wizard dude, you know, and party members that already have like stats built up a little bit. But I feel if the game encourages you to not fight stuff, that's not exactly the best. Where are all those pluses coming from? Oh, the Ashura. Vitality is really strong. Why are you using Heaven Hell? Shouldn't you be using, like, I don't know, something else? So the way combos work is everything can combo as far as I understand, as long as it's an attack skill. Even AoE can combo with single target. It's just that the more diverse your lineup is, the more likely combos will happen. So like gun, punch, sword, spell, different different kind of spell, you know. That has a higher chance of comboing than just sword, 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 sword. Which, obviously, I understand that as I made 4 sword units. That wasn't my original intent. It was supposed to be sword, punch, sword, 2 different spellcasters, but the game was just like, nah, that's shit. Don't do that. Right. What's the chance of a combination happening? I don't know. Number percent. It also has to do with where your characters are in a lineup. If they are before or after an enemy, or all sorts of other things that you can't control. Basically, you select a bunch of abilities and hope for the best, and that's about as good as you can get. There's nothing that guarantees combos. There's no stat that says this helps you make more combos. There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do to help combos along other than use more diversity in your lineup. I love how much damage that does as a random enemy ability. It's like nearly one-shotting my entire team with just like a random enemy with 1,000 HP, you know? It's just crazy. Because it's probably an ability that you can get as a player, and they decided not to bother scaling it against player damage. They were just like, yeah, this does 500 damage when you're a player, so we should do 500 damage against players when it's a monster ability. Nuts. Just psychotic. Muggers! Rip. If x less than y and z greater than x, check if pi greater than a over 4.27. Grandmother's homemade baked apple pie, if true, combo. If false, also combo. If true, combo. Or maybe not combo. If false, also combo, or maybe not combo. IDK. Don't forget the IDK at the end of the script. Hey Kim, what's up? I mean, again, despite this game being this game, I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it, you know? I like a lot of stuff. I just can't wait for it to be over. I'm glad there are people that are excited about the remaster. I hope you enjoy it. I like Square Enix, and they're fantastic. That's it. Yeah, I know. If there was only a shop that actually lets you sell items instead of it being specific items only to specific people, then I might actually be able to take all the enormous amount of item bloat that I have and turn it into, like, protection for my party. I think that's one thing that could also be fixed, is being able to sell any of your equipment to any NPC that buys and sells equipment. You know? Casa, what's up, dude? How you been? Oh, wow, this ought to hurt. Yeah, you know what I said about, like, realism in video games is great until it inhibits gameplay and enjoyment? I think that one qualifies. If I could sell all this crap that I have, I could get so much money. And I could just buy the power suits for everybody, and I'm done. And then I'd go right to the boss, and I'd probably have a balanced encounter where I actually had a chance of winning, you know? You made a cover? Like a cover song? I didn't know you were playing music. I know you sing, but... Oh, that's awesome. If you want to share it, we have an art channel in Discord. That way you can share it with everybody. I'm sure it's on your Twitter too, but yeah. Getting a lot of strength, HP, WP, and vitality. Like, all sorts of it. It's actually pretty good. I'm actually going to try a couple things here. No. No. I know this one sells your leather. I know of a few NPCs that buy things back, and I just want to see what I can actually sell. For almost nothing. You sell things for like 10% of their actual value. You get such a abysmal amount of currency when you sell things. It's honestly sad. Where was the other thing? I think it was junk. I'm going to save it here though because the trip back from junk is really expensive. Okay, cool. Awesome, Casa. Yeah. So Casa did a singing cover on a song, and he just shared it in the Discord. Take a listen. I'll listen to it after stream for sure. Down here. Just repair kits and then guns and stuff. Wow. Whoops, I tripped. Yeah, it's total accident, y'all. Sorry about that. Oh, pretty close to another power suit if I wanted to go that route. I don't think the boss... Well, the boss does do that smash attack. I wonder if smash is earth. I mean, if I had people on jet boots, I'd just completely avoid it, which I do, but I don't remember actually avoiding it. Who has my power suit? Wait a second. Who has my power suit? Or did I just forget to get it again on a reload? No, everybody has a suit of armor, so it's not like the power suit went away. Did I seriously forget to get paid, and this 4,000 that I farmed up isn't actually 4,000? Oh, come on. That's gonna be sad. That's sad. That means all that farming I've gotten maybe 1,000 coins, credits, whatever. Like that's both farm sessions combined about 1,000 credits. That ain't even a viability, man. That's madness. So definitely not grinding for money. I could get one power suit, but the smash might be, I don't know. I mean, with the power suit, she had like what, 20 more defense. She was taking way little damage, so it was good. But you know. I don't think she did blind. Yeah, trying to buy a house by turning in coins, or turning in cans rather. Excuse me. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna go to the boss and give it one more go. Have another save file there that's a little bit more farmed out. Whatever. Oh, I should do something with all that money though. Honestly, I don't know. Aside from buying lots of max cures, that might really change things up. With a bunch of max cures. Hey, Mozzie! Thank you for the sub gift to Ryoto. Welcome back in. Screw the power suit. Just get a bunch of max cures, see if there's any other items that can help me. I don't know, something like that. Rufus is my most defensive unit, so putting him on the thing does make sense. Although I wonder if it would make more sense in giving his sword to somebody else. I mean, he is strong too. So maybe I should give it to her if he's going to be healing more primarily. Like, they're still gonna heal, you know, with starlights and stuff. So there should be like 3 healing things going out all the time. But if he's gonna be the primary heal with items, then he shouldn't have that weapon. Oh, it's just him again. It's just no consistency, man. There's Kasumi, baby. Hey, Arashi, thank you for 4 months. We're gonna get rid of Ogre Run because it's even though it is an AoE, it's Earth, and so many things are immune to Earth in this game. So there's only one shitty thing about Kasumi, and that is it takes WP to use, meaning it discourages the use of... Whoa. What the fuck was that? Did I just regular attack or something on accident? Because I think that's the first time I've regular attacked with the Ashura. It discourages the use of high-level abilities because you want to maintain some WP for Kasumis. That being said, I'll probably still use higher tier abilities, but not like ultra expensive ones. It just depends on how much WP I end up having, but yeah. I'd like it on everybody, though. It's a total game changer. Take it easy, Wells. All right, let's All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to remove things that I don't think I'll use at all, like that. So I leave 2 spaces for learning dodges and stuff. And that one. Actually, probably more likely that one. Oh, we got a prediction started. Bet your channel points, ladies and gentlemen. Prediction started. Follow the on-screen instructions. Bet your channel points to see how horribly I die. You have about a minute left to get your prediction in. I should have put max cures on people instead of regular cures. That would help. Twister, Sky Twister is definitely not worth it. It is way too expensive for barely any more damage. That was cool timing with the sound effects there. Just when I thought it was like an acceptable amount of damage, he just goes ham. Pretty sure I'm already dead. I didn't even get a chance to heal all that damage. It's still way faster than me. Wow, nobody died. That's crazy. Starlight heal actually healing for 300? What? So maybe it heals off of a stat that's irrelevant to casters or something stupid. Goodness, this game. And you're dead. Not dead. Stunned though, so he can't heal. Thank you. And dead. Needs more combos. Oh, I know why I'm not comboing. Because she gets so many attacks and they're mixing and mingling in between my attacks, breaking up the combos. That's what's going on. Jerk boss is jerk. I usually try to focus on anybody that can heal should heal themselves, because a lot of the time people will die as they're using a heal or before they can be healed. And so strategically it's smarter to have somebody heal themselves if they can, but I wanted to maximize my damage output. Yeah, there's just no living through that one. There we go. I got rid of Moobot, which was handling that, because you can just see on the stream how long I've been live. Combo! Yeah, the fact that there are so many like final boss tracks and everything, and final boss dungeon tracks, and just like versatility in music in general is just so bonkers good in this game. Really is good. I love how bosses get tossed around with your abilities just like regular monsters, you know? Like, again, there's so much I love about this game, but shit like that bugs me a lot. Death effects. Of course it's on my main healer, right? Healer, air quotes. Just as I rezzed him, he gets to die again. I guess I could have. Come on, you just did AoE. For crying out loud, dude. It's just relentless. Relentless. Jet boots do not prevent ground hit. Alright, good lesson learned. For fuck's sake, can I keep him alive? Good God! This is why it's all down to RNG every time. Yeah, we're just gonna focus fire this guy the whole time. Finally, some luck. And she's dead again. I just rezzed. This is insane. This is just bonkers. How many attacks do you get? They're all murdering attacks. Like, one of these attacks around would already be rough to deal with. Doesn't help that she's, oh my God. She's also very, very fast. So like, I don't get to heal in reaction to the damage. I have to hope that the damage spread is in my favor. Like, it's all luck. I'm pretty sure she also gets a random amount of attacks each round, which is also luck. Like, it's like 1 to 4 attacks each round. What she uses, also luck, because she could use these thunder attacks with the thunder wall on that gives me immunity to it. And then it's like, yeah, cool, pass. You know, I get a pass on that round. But like, again, it's all luck. Thunderball on someone with a shield, 20 damage. Thunderball on someone without a shield, 450. So how was your day? Oh, it was actually a great day. Like I'm in a good mood. I'm in good spirits, but this game makes it very hard to keep it that way. And he's dead. Wow, missed. I've only beaten one scenario. Okay, I'm starting to feel like the boss might be close to dead, so every attack I feel like is a chance of it killing it. But I feel like I've definitely had attempts that I got further in. Nice. Dodge gaze. Very good. Actually, decent HP. Okay. So she's going to do the Gale Slash. Guaranteed. Gale Slash coming in. I finally recovered. Finally can actually start hoping for some combos. And then she's just going to ruin it all with Gale Slash. Cat, you are sad. You are a sad kitty. Can I block or deflect or something, maybe? You. Well, she's dead. I guess I have a cure going on her, so that's kind of nice. Except that she has very, very low LP, so I would have liked to have used a max cure instead, but hey. Somebody learned Gale dodge. There's Rufus, that's good. He needs to stay alive. No Kasumis are happening apparently. I'm pretty much out of damage. It's just these weak attacks now. Which leads me to believe that I'm definitely further on than I have been in any other attempt. Because I didn't even make it to the end of my WP with less WP, you know? Which also does make me regret that I didn't put max cures on my party instead of just on him. That's bad. That's really bad. Oh, she said it! Did it! Is she dead? Oh! Ah! Oh my god! Freaking hell! Yeah, congratulations to all the big winners for the prediction. Let's get those payouts. Oh my gosh. Are you all okay? Joker. I knew you'd never shoot me. Stay right where you are. Your friends have all gone on to the next world. Have they? Really? You can rule over this world together with the power of Cube. You maniac. You know who I am. No. Come with me. Wait, whoa. What? What? Come with me. Wait. Thank you, Muhammad, for the 10 sub gives. I hate you. F. Is it her husband? Is it actually that Joker is her husband? Annie, Lisa, Rufus. Thank God you're all safe. Of course. Manelli, you're... What was I fighting for? I could have just stayed just another unhappy, ignorant woman. No one knows what will happen in the future no matter what. You decide. No matter what you decide to do, you're bound to have regrets. Cheerios, thought. Sorry. Are you apologizing? Do I look that depressed? Annie, I can't take it anymore. I'm okay. I always feel better after a good cry, Rufus. What's our next mission? No more for you. I can see it in your eyes. You can't fight anymore. Rufus, you've suffered enough. Lisa, might sound a little weird, but it was fun, Manelli. Annie. Thanks, everyone. I won't forget you guys. No, you must forget us. You never worked for Gradius. You don't even know about such an organization. That's an order. My last order, yes, sir. So, who's Joker supposed to be? She didn't even look back. She's become strong. This is the way it had to be. Come on, let's go. Ugh. I could have just not done those. it's like I think that belongs on some like amateur deviant art account. The end. Yeah, they could have just done the art instead. I want to appreciate the art is great. Those are not. That's not. No, that's no bueno. They obviously married each other. I'm about it. Where's the system data in slot 1? This and red are complete. I'm not looking forward to any of the other scenarios except, well, I don't know. Oh boy. This game, what a struggle. Well, I will say that now 2 scenarios have been overcome by grinding. I don't know what to think anymore, because I always just assumed grinding would murder me, but now grinding has saved me twice. But maybe it wasn't grinding at all. Maybe it was just because of the max cures, you know, just full healing people instead of only partially healing was like the big win or something like that. I don't know. But having 650 HP sure as hell helped. Tomorrow we will raffle off another scenario at the beginning of the stream. But for now, we are done. We are finished for the evening.